If we do not act decisively, we risk losing the entire generation to addiction, mental health challenges, and wasted potential. This is why today's launch is not just a presentation of data, it is an action, it is a call to action. At this juncture, I wish to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the esteemed institutions that play a crucial role in this study, including University of Nairobi, United States International University, Africa, Kenyatta University, Moi University, Kariza University, African Nazarene University, Kisii University, Laikipia University, Catholic University of Eastern Africa, Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, Great Lakes University of Kisumu, Pwani University, Mount Kenya University, Southeastern Kenya University, Chuka University, Dedan Kimathi University of Science and Technology. Additionally, I extend my deep gratitude to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, KNBS, for their invaluable support in data analysis and report compilation. A special note of appreciation goes to NACADA management led by the CEO, Dr. Mirikwa, for the successful initiation, implementation, and conclusion of the study. Let's appreciate all our stakeholders, and thank you, CEO and your team, for a great job well done. As NACADA, we are committed to ensuring that the findings and recommendations from this report inform our policies, programs, and interventions targeting university students. This is not just about statistics, it's about lives, it's about dreams, and the future of our nation. As I close, allow me to appreciate our chief guest. Your presence here, sir, is a testimony of your love for the youth of this nation. You have many things in your schedule, but the fact that when we invited you, you said, I will be here today, and you came, we greatly appreciate. So let's appreciate our CS for that. And we want to thank you for gracing this occasion. And again, I want to appreciate, as I said earlier, the IG. We've had many consultations, and we look forward to even working together. Ladies and gentlemen, this day is the day for our CS, and we want to give him time to speak to us. And so it is my humble duty that we invite our chief guest, our CS, Honorable Onesmus Murkomen. Let's appreciate our CS. Thank you. Thank you very
much. Thank you very much, Chair. Please be seated. Thank you. Our chair of the NACADA board, Dr. Stephen Mairori, our Inspector General of Police, the CEO of NACADA, Dr. Mirikwa, the universities represented here, led by KU, Vice Chancellor Professor Washike Wanjoi, and DVC of Nazarene University, Dr. Simon Obwato, the board of NACADA, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. I'm Jambo. First of all, I'm really honored and privileged to have been invited to this very important launch, and I am very happy to see that the universities are playing a critical role, and our professors are doing a very good job in informing decision-making in government through research, because we do not want to crop in the dark, guessing what we want to do. As in furtherance of this research, I want to start by asking a question. How many of you in this room who don't have a close family member who is an addict of alcohol? Somebody who doesn't, you know. And I'm not raising my hand, so I'm just asking. You raise your hand. Yeah. So we all have close family members, yeah, who are addicted. Okay, so it's a national problem. It's a serious national problem. I always, every time I conversed with the person next to me, my friend here, when we are sitting with political leaders, whether at the highest level or even MCA, everybody speaks about the struggles they have with a brother, a sister, a neighbor, a parent, and forget about neighbors. I mean, very close nucleus family members who are struggling with alcohol. So this is a very serious issue. It's a very serious national issue. It's the greatest threat to the well-being of our country. It's a national security issue. The well-being of our country is threatened by drugs and substance abuse. And so when we are here, we have a very serious national duty, and this function must be taken as serious as it should. And I thank the IG for saying that the relevant department needs to be upscaled to the level of anti-terror unit, because there is, if we calculate the number of people we've lost using terrorism, it is lesser than the people we lose every day because of drugs, alcohol, and substance abuse, meaning, therefore, that we must take this fight as serious as it should. I thank my friend Wanyama Chebutiri, who really recognizes that this problem is national, and he told us about his experience in his village, because another villager the other day was making this conversation about only his village, forgetting to appreciate that it's about the country. And we cannot make this conversation about your tribe, your village, your community. This is a serious national issue that does not deserve to be reduced to political boxing. It is important for all of us to make sure that we take this thing very serious. And as a government, and you saw the IG speak here. The IG has spoken as the Inspector General of the Republic of Kenya to signify the fact that we take this thing seriously nationally. And the government of Kenya does not target to allow alcohol to certain villages and people who have failed in the past to make money, because they have now lost the opportunity to make money in their pretentious efforts to fight alcohol, are cheapening this conversation. And this is a very serious issue. So I want to say that this thing is very passionate for me, but let me read my speech. University life is a transformative journey, as we all know. It's a time of self-discovery, intellectual growth, and social exploration. But it's also a time of vulnerability. The newfound freedom, the pressure to perform well in the academics, and the desire to fit in can sometimes lead our youth down to a very dangerous path. It is therefore with concern that I stand before you today as we launch the report on the status of drugs and substance abuse among university students in Kenya, which was done in 2024. This report is not just a document. It's a mirror reflecting the sad reality of the drug menace in our society, a wake-up call to our nation, and a roadmap to action. The timing of this launch is critical. As we celebrate the recent release of the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education national examinations, thousands of young Kenyans are preparing themselves to transition to universities, a pivotal phase in their lives. This is a time of great promise, but also of vulnerability. It is a time when great dreams are nurtured, but also when temptations can derail those dreams. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all stakeholders who contributed to this report. Your dedication to understanding and addressing this issue is a testament to our collective commitment to safeguarding the future of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the findings of this report from 17 universities sampled are both enlightening and alarming. They reveal that 45.6% of university students have used at least one drug or a substance in their lifetime. Even more alarming is that 26 96.6% of our university students are currently using this substance. Alcohol, tobacco, cannabis, cat, and even emerging substances like methamphetamine and codeine. For. It was not gender equality in sharing drugs together. We must urgently address the unique challenges our young women face and ensure that they are not left behind in this fight. I know that NACADA is a step ahead on on this through provision of free rehabilitation to female clients at the Miritini Drug Rehabilitation Center. Let me just say this a little bit because I have been a university teacher before. It is true that this report is very, very true. And it's not something that just happened in 2024. It has been true for a very long time. And it is also true that our staff in the university, including lecturers, present or former, contribute immensely to the distribution of drugs in the university and alcohol. In fact, it is true that lecturers intentionally invite students for going out and buying alcohol intentionally. I know some of you have since graduated, but it is true that your lecturers took you out and they bought you alcohol. So as a matter of fact, many young students, and especially female students, become victims of the same. In fact, it goes, one of the most prevalent, and I think, is it NACADA or now who, but even if it's not confined to your mandate, another study should be done about sexual abuse in the university, and particularly taking advantage of young girls by those who are supposed to take care of them, and sex for marks and all those kind of things. Those evil things we have condoned for far too long in the university are catching up with us. And it is important for all of us to make sure that we face these challenges head on. And it's very good to have a vice chancellor who is a lady vice chancellor here. And I believe that that's one area you can take up also in the university. And let's not hide it under the carpet. I know professors who used to harass students, and they never really, and some students never graduated because they never fell into their trap. And every time they reported, they always got away out of the disciplinary action. There is a problem with our universities, and we must start running universities as proper institutions, universities that can respond to this challenge. And we must face it. And I speak as your former colleague. Let me say this. The other problem about this orientation to university is that the students, by the time they're joining university, this period between leaving the high school, high school and joining university, and they are policing by the teachers at the high school, and the absence of parental care between high school and joining the university is a very dangerous period, because the students leave high school and they have not, they have not been prepared for this freedom, and they get home and their parents don't have time, or they don't have the capacity to look after them, or they don't have and they have not been university that does not have, first of all, there is no orientation. What I went through as a first year was not an orientation at all. In fact, I must say that I never got to know even what was a course outline. Forget about the other issues. Even somebody to tell you a course outline means you can study on your own and this is what it means. Just a basic information. And for my 4 years in the university, I never interacted with anybody who told me that you can have stress in life. And you need, it was, why would you be stressed? You are a university student, It was rather obvious. There was only one department of the Dean of Students, and that's at the University of Nairobi, and the Dean of Students was in main campus. So those of us who were in Parklands were at the mercy of the caretaker of the residents there. And so you were on your own for the entire period. Even students who lose their loved ones, had to just take care of themselves or be looked after by the students. And if they were members of Christian Union or they were members of the YCS or a religious organization, that's why the study is very true. Those students who find themselves busy, either in the CU, they are going for, in fact, CUs and the Christian organizations in campus play an extremely important role in distracting students from accessing these drugs. Because, and that's why I'll want to make a case for the next point, which is that in the absence of a properly working counseling department in a university, poorly funded, with 1 or 2 staff, because the university is concentrating on, we are teaching students, and therefore we want a lecturer who teaches engineering, teaches law, teaches medicine, but they don't realize that the well-being of the student outside this class session. So the university environment nowadays does not have a counseling department. If they have, there are very few people. They don't reach out to the students. So the gap was only filled by these social groupings, and particularly the CU, because how does the CU do so? And I'm biased because I'm a former CU chair. And I speak for the CU, the YCS, and the other groups. Because you are going for Sunday service as a CU, you have maybe a Tuesday, prayer session, or you have a Bible study on Tuesday. On a Wednesday, you have something. On a Saturday, you have a trip. So you are preparing for a trip. So your life in school is very exciting. This environment, and the preacher is coming on a Friday for fellowship, and you're all, and you are visiting each other in the rooms, and brothers and sisters are encouraging you. So if you have a small problem here, you feel you are part of a family. The same to I don't speak for the YCS, but I know also they were like that, and the other grouping. And therefore, that becomes really the only few institutions in the university that are looking after students, and it is students looking after themselves, because even the CU does not have a patron. Yeah? So it is them as themselves. One of the gaps that was filled then for some of us was the what we call Fellowship of Christian Unions. Then, some campus staff would come, reach out to you, and there were very few of them, and now they are also overstretched. You must, as universities, provide ways of filling this gap. And you must not continue looking at counseling and looking after the students as a side issue. It must be an integral part of the university with properly hired staff who are looking after the students being taken care of and put as part of the budget of the students. If we don't do so, we will come back to these statistics again. We'll come and discuss these statistics again and so forth. So I realized actually you can be stressed way after I left school. Yeah, way after, and I was feeling my stomach, I was getting tired, then I was told there's something called stress. In fact, being stressed is ostracized. You are not allowed to say, I am stressed. Yeah, because how can you be stressed as a young person? What's wrong with you? You should be enjoying life. And so mental health for a long time was also ostracized. And I want to say this here, that these findings call us to do something about the well-being of our students in the university. We must urgently address the unique challenges that these young people are going through. The revelation that female students across the universities are having higher prevalence of moderately severe 6.4% and severe 4.1% depressive disorders compared to their male counterparts 5.2% and 3% respectively is a matter of concern to the future of the girl child. As revealed in this report, alcohol was the most available substance among the students at 87.3%, followed by cigarettes 64.4% and shisha 41.2%. As parents of these students, we are left with one big question. How can we curb availability of this substance? This calls for our deliberate and collaborative effort in the fight against drug and substance abuse. Again, availability of alcohol in the school environment. I don't think you will succeed to ban alcohol in the university. And I don't think it will be easy. And I don't think students are suffering because of good alcohol. Okay, as a pastor, I don't know what's good alcohol, but I know something about it. Yeah? Most of the students who are addicted in the university is not because they are drinking beer. Let me say so, because we had a long discussion in the cabinet about when we were dealing with taxes and putting more taxes on certain alcohol and reducing others. I don't think beer is one of the cause of addiction in the university. No. I believe that the real cause of addiction is the cheap alcohol, this ethanol that students are being sold to, very cheap in those small bottles. And I don't know, the latest one is called something, I don't know. There's one that is coming through Uganda that has an interesting name. It's called, yeah? Not Waragi, I'm talking about some of these small bottles, very cheap sachets that are being sold around here. Those are the ones, spirits, and these others, funny alcohol here, are the ones that are causing more problem. Why don't we ban those ones first from anywhere near the university and designate the canteens to say you can only sell certain level of alcohol. If you are selling beer from EABL, it will mean, as one of them, I'm not marketing for EABL, but it will mean it's expensive, fairly. A student cannot afford to do four bottles, 5 bottles of the same, you know. We can also put regulations in the university to say, once a student has been established to be addicted, you cannot sell alcohol to that student. And that information will be made available to the canteen, that this student is so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so, and you can't sell alcohol to these students. Yeah, it is possible. And those who are under rehab, we provide the rehabilitation mechanism. There must be a conversation around this issue. Because if you tell people you will completely ban alcohol in this area, what will happen is that they will go look for cheap ones. You will actually create a demand underground for more dangerous and cheaper substances and make them get high very fast. The report further revealed that friends contribute 66.4% of sources of drugs, with evidence showing university students being involved in the supply and sale of drugs and drug substance. This is a wake-up call to our children to be careful with friends. We parents should also endeavor to know our children's friends. Sorry to be off many times, but we know students that have been in the university forever. Yeah, at the University of Nairobi, they have been in the previously notorious students who never finished school. And they're very rich. And they are doing no business. And extremely influential. And they are in the leadership of the student leadership. So you have that line of students. We must be able to investigate why a student is not leaving school. You know, pretending to finish what course and move to another course sometimes, or delaying they're finishing their school, or, you know, in many other of these universities, we must take deliberate effort to make sure that we deal with those type of students because of the business they are doing around. And IG, I think we need to strengthen all the police stations that are operating near the universities, whether it's Central Police in Nairobi here, or in Rongai near the university, Nazarene University, or the one near KU, with deliberate efforts, interagency within the police, to see how we can integrate these investigations. You know, in the past, we were told, I don't know, we used to be told when I was in the university, that some of these students are not students. Yeah? They are police officers. They are busy. Why don't we go back there, IG, to make sure that we are having intelligence officers working within the university and with the university students and the police officers and all the team. We get proper intelligence and proper intervention in dealing with drugs and drug abuse within the university, especially with cannabis and heroin and cocaine, among others. Again, thank you very much. Again, as parents, unfortunately, these are parents of my generation and slightly older, kidogo. Unfortunately, we can't bring our children up the way we some of us were brought up. Yeah, where I said bye to my parents in Mbobut Forest, and they don't know what you are doing until they know that after 4 years they must come for graduation. They don't know what's supplementary. They don't know anything. Yeah, you cannot do that now with this generation. We have to monitor to know where they are children. That's why when the president said the other day, we must look after our children, people thought it's political. It is not. As parents, we must do something different. Know our children, know their friends, know what they do, and so that we do not regret when they are eventually addicted. Whereas technology has come as a boon, aiding access to academic materials online, the report also revealed that there was an increased use of online platforms and websites for promoting the sale and use of drugs and substance targeting university students. As a government, we shall not allow this to continue. Crime anywhere is a crime everywhere. It doesn't matter whether it's committed online or offline. We must bring to book all these criminals killing our children's future by peddling drugs. The anti-narcotics unit within the Directorate of Criminal Investigations must therefore up their game in their enforcement of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substance abuse. And I thank you very much. And I thank you, IG, for confirming that we are going to strengthen this department. And it is important that we do so. And we must upscale the fight against the drugs and drug abuse and psychotropic substance, abuse of psychotropic substance, to the level of anti-terror and even higher. And we will work together to make sure that that department is strengthened. Even as the pastors, we expect parents to do their job. We expect the religious leaders to do their job. It's our duty as government and as the police department to make sure that we are doing everything possible. And I want to thank you, IG. The operation that was done recently by the National Police in Marsabit was very interesting. Yeah, in Marsabit and Isiolo. I saw some people the other day saying, oh, some young people have been arrested because the president visited Isiolo. We don't play with national security. We are very serious people. And I told you that once we sit here, we know what's happening in our country. There have been criminals from the Oromo Liberation group that have been bringing drugs from neighboring countries. And they have been hiding somewhere in Marsabit and Isiolo. A number of the people we arrested who are aiding them, including professionals like doctors, who have been arrested, who've been helping facilitate these criminals in their activities, criminal activities, but also in selling the drugs that they have. And a lot of bang was confiscated from them. And we arrested so many of them. And that's why when we say we need support of the media, when it comes to crimes like this that are affecting our nation, we must, all of us, speak in one voice. Forget about the politics. When the president spoke in Isiolo, he was speaking out of information about what is happening in our country. And let me tell you this. Those leaders, including county officials that were arrested, will face the full force of the law. And I must say this. They are elected officials and leaders who are hiding behind political action by mobilizing young people, giving them alcohol, and asking them to come and heckle their competitors in meetings and dragging them to make sure that they do so on their behalf. We are coming for you. And when we say we are coming for you, we mean it. You saw what happened in Kakamega the other day, where politicians coming to a funeral of a person they don't call anything. They don't even know. They have absolutely no relationship. Family that is mourning. Because of your political competition, you know, you're asking weekend, where is the biggest funeral around? Who has died somewhere? You start organizing young people, give them drugs, give them alcohol, bring them to a funeral that you are not invited in the first place, arriving there to cause mayhem and fights. And you saw how they were really fighting. It was extremely unfortunate. Before a family that is mourning their person. And you know, you've seen they have recorded statements. The governor of Kakamega will record a statement. You saw the former CS recording a statement. And everybody will be held into account. We cannot continue allowing any person in this country, because of their position, to use our young people to destroy their future. And we are not if that is how to protect politics, let the politics stay. We will not compromise any person and this kind of behavior because you will tell us that you will bring votes to the president or to this government. We are not going to sell the future of our country for the sake of votes. You can stay with your votes, but you will rot in jail. We will make sure that you take the responsibility that you must take. Therefore, the National Authority for the Campaign Against the Alcohol and Drug Abuse under my ministry, which has been at the forefront of coordinating the multi-sectoral fight against this menace, must also step up their efforts. It is not just a fight for sobriety, it's a fight for the soul of our nation. Alcohol and drug abuse threatens our security, undermines development, erodes the health and potential of our youth. We therefore cannot sit pretty and see our youth, the pride and the future of our nation, get derailed by harmful substance. Let me be unequivocal. The government is fully committed to this fight. Our national government administration, officers, MGAOs, with other multi-agency team, have firm instruction to implement His Excellency the President's directive on eradicating illicit brews and other harmful substances across the country. We will not waver, we will not relent, and we will not bow to any pressure from those who profit from the destruction of our youth. This is a battle we must win, and win decisively. To the parents and the guardians here today, your role cannot be overstated. Your child may now be at the university, but they still need your guidance, support, and love. Be present in their lives. Ask about their studies, their friendships, and their well-being. Show them the way that they have, and show them that they are valued and supported by the family. Be vigilant for the warning signs, a drop in academic performance, withdrawal from the social activities, mood swings, or secretive behavior. These could be the red flags. If you notice them, don't hesitate to have an open and honest conversation with your child. Remember, your involvement could be the difference between bright future and a life derailed by addiction. We have been told, because I attend also parental classes, that we must talk to our children, including asking them who is their girlfriend now, who is their boyfriend. You must now live to the reality of the time. Our days, your father cannot contemplate asking you something even close to that. In fact, in the village where I came from, if your father sees you walking with a lady, he will pretend he saw something on the other side, and he will change route and course. You are not allowed to be anywhere walking with a girlfriend. Now it is unfortunate that these are new times. We can't raise our children the way our parents raised us. We must have an honest conversation and to show and to understand what they are doing. To the university administrators and faculty, you are not just educators, you are custodians of our future. Your institutions must be safe havens where students can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. I urge you to prioritize prevention programs, create substance-free social space, and provide wellness-focused activities. Provide sports activities, I just came from the sports ministry. My dream was then and still is that the university become the center of sports excellence in the country. And please provide those activities for young people, opportunities for them to run, places for them to play football, to basketball. Personally, I never realized that I was in fourth year, to be very honest. From the day I joined first year, I was in the Christian Union, I was in student politics, I was in the football team of the university, I was in the debating moot court team, I traveled all over the country, to preach all over the country. I traveled out of the country to go for seminars and workshops. Then I realized at some point it is fourth year. In fact, the day I left school, I realized everything I owned within school was not mine. Including the school mattress. I actually almost begged that, can I be given this mattress to go with? Because the first day we went out and with my friends, we slept on the floor. It was the second day that we looked for a mattress, we changered a mattress. So let me say this, the university must be an interesting place for our young people. Idleness will create an opportunity for drugs and drug abuse. We must make sure that somebody is playing some role somehow in some activity and busy, whether it is Rotary Club or something, or they are in Red Cross or volunteering in St. John Ambulance or something, so that then we can keep them as busy as possible and make the university more interesting and make their grading even more interesting with extracurricular activities, and we look for those activities. Equally important is ensuring that students struggling with addiction can seek help without fear of stigma or judgment. Let us build universities that nurture not just minds but also character and resilience. The idea that you expel a student because they are addicted may have to be revisited. Yeah, because I have now grown up and I've been told that addiction is a disease like any other disease. Instead of expelling them, you have to find ways of making sure that they are treated because they're looking for treatment. So there is a whole focus on change of mind to make sure that this sector is different. To the young men and women preparing to join university or already pursuing their degrees, this is your moment. The choices you make today will shape your future. Drugs and substance abuse may offer a fleeting escape, but they come at a devastating cost. Your health, your dreams, and your potential. Employers today are not just looking for academic qualifications, they are looking for individuals with integrity, discipline, and mental clarity. By choosing a drug-free lifestyle, you are not only protecting your health, but also building a foundation for successful and fulfilling career. The findings of this report are a call to action for all of us, parents, educators, policymakers, and the young youth themselves. Let us unite in this fight to create a sober, healthy, and prosperous nation. The university management and the relevant stakeholders should roll out deliberate and sustained drug and substance abuse prevention interventions, including strong mentorship programs tailored to the needs of vulnerable population. There is also a need for collaboration and strengthening of the university chaplaincies to play an active role in the prevention of drug abuse. This includes bringing on board other programs intended to moderate the risk factors of substance use among students. I urge NACADA to continue in this journey in collaboration with the university management to leverage social media and other online platforms to reach the students with tailored prevention programs and factual messaging to counter myths, misinformation, misconception related to DSU. Further, I direct NACADA in collaboration with the university leadership to explore strategies of implementing a raft of recommendations that have come from this report to address this menace. You have our full support to this end. To our youth, I say this, your future is in your hands. Choose your friends wisely, stay focused, and prioritize your well-being. By doing so, you are not just investing in your success, but also in the future of Kenya. Before I declare official this report, Pastor, who is also a member of this team, thank you very much. I also think that the church has a role to play. Yeah, and the religious institutions have a very strong role to play. And we'll support you. But also support us. The report that the CEO, in the CEO remarks, you saw he mentioned that Gen Z campaign together with drugs and defiance. Please, both of you be seated. You know there was a level of defiance that is not ordinary and normal. Yeah. Meanwhile, religious leaders were sitting somewhere saying, our children occupy everywhere. Let me tell you something. They will occupy that church. You remember in that campaign, they were beginning to say, kila mtu aombe Mungu yake. Kila mtu aombe online. Soon, you'll have our churches as empty as the churches we see in Europe. You know? And then we will not have centers for taking care of these young people. Let's do this thing together. This defiance you see with young people, and we are glorifying it. You know, you are glorifying it and calling our children's names. That glorification of that defiance is going to eat us in the near future, and it's going to make our society be in a terrible place. Because I have really spent a lot of time, I have also another program with the IG. I hereby declare the report of the status of drugs and substance use among university students in Kenya 2024 officially launched. Thank you very much, and God bless. Asante sana.
Our chief guest,